We do come back in late August when the nights start to get a bit longer and people want something after their summer holidays. So I'll be back on, like, I've Dingle now. I think, is this going out? So Dingle, I think is Friday the 24th. So I think it's this coming out that week. So I'm in Wave and Dingle, and then I have Kilbrittain Festival.
Brilliant.
I know Kilbrittain to find out how come people in West Cork learned how to play hurling. And then I've...
Hello and welcome to Conversations with Cornelius. I'm a comedian. This podcast is about my life, my wife, my likes and dislikes, hurling, football, movies, sex, drugs and rock and roll without the sex, drugs and rock and roll. There are going to be special guests and always regular contributors, but mostly it's going to be me and my main squeeze, the wife. So sit back, relax and enjoy Conversations with Cornelius. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Conversations with Cornelius. I'm your host, Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan. I'm in the Fearless Digital Network studios on a sweltering Tuesday afternoon, and life is pretty good, lads. Life is actually pretty decent, I have to say now. I had an amazing weekend. Oh my God, I had an amazing weekend. What did I do? Fuck all. Sweet Fanny Adams. I did a podcast here on Saturday, and after that, myself, my wife and my two small boys, we went into Cork, into a place called Barcadia. I don't know if you've ever heard of Barcadia. It's like all these retro video games, Pac-Man, pinball machines, shoot 'em uppers, people throwing basketballs, Street Fighter. I fucking had a game of Street Fighter. I don't know if you played video games in your youth, lads, but I played a lot of Street Fighter when I was about 12 up until I'm still playing Street Fighter. I still have it. I still have it at home. Brilliant. And I played the 1989 version of it inside in Barcadia. My kids loved it. We went into Holy Smoke then, which is a part of Barcadia, the restaurant, and we got some grub in there, and I didn't like the grub, and that's just been honest. My wife did though, and my kids ate their stuff, but I don't know, I didn't ask them, but I just didn't like what I had. So, do you know what I mean? Make up your own mind, I suppose. This is, you know, I'm not going to tell you where to eat or what not to eat, but I got the Philly cheesesteak, and that was a fucking big mistake, because the last time I got a Philly cheesesteak was when I was in America with my uncle, and he brought me to a place where the guy was from Philadelphia, and it was amazing. And then this thing was like something that I was like, I won't actually say what it was like, lads, because a lot of people listen to this podcast. But the Barcadia was great though, the video games and okay. What else? Move on there now, Con, quickly. We've the swimming pool out at home, the inflatable swimming pool. I would highly recommend buying an inflatable swimming pool while the weather is good in Ireland, lads. I swear to God, it has brought so much joy into our house at home. Like, the kids are just going around, obviously, in swimming togs. It is roasting. It is like 25, 26, 27 degrees. We're in the heart of summer. It's an amazing time in Ireland. We haven't had a summer like this now in a long time. And we've the swim pool out. Cost us, I think, €70. And today's guest, now I'll bring him on in a second, was saying, oh, what about the hose pipe ban? But that's only after coming in today. So, and it's still raining where I live, so fuck off. But yeah, amazing. We're out back lounging in the sun, drinking 0.0 beers. I'm off the beer at the moment. And we had a few friends down. We had a few neighbours over. Their kids were jumping in and out of the pool. Our kids are laughing and screaming, and the dog is jumping around the place. Yeah. Brilliant. What's there to complain about? What is there to complain about? Like, that is just class. Well, we do have a hive of wasps right outside our front door at the moment. So if I was looking to complain about something, because I did get stung by one of them cunts a few weeks ago as well, and I said to Noelle, we need to get rid of those fucking wasps. And she's kind of lackadaisical, my wife. I don't know if you know that. She's a little bit lax. And she was like, yeah, we'll do that now on our own time. She's from Kerry as well. That's the way she talks. She's on the podcast here. You've heard her. But anyway, long story short, we got out the exterminator to get rid of the wasps yesterday, and he didn't get rid of them because they're still fucking there. He put a load of smoking poison outside the door, and we had to call him back again today, and he said that the nest must be in deep and into the corner. He said, we've about 250 wasps, right? And he said, if we hadn't called him, that they're only starting to breed now. He said that in about 5 or 6 weeks, there could have been a nest of 10,000 wasps. Fuck me sideways. I hate wasps. I don't know what you think of wasps. I'm not a fan. Follow the Fearless Digital Network Studios. Please follow them, okay? Give them a like on their Instagram. Give them a like on their Facebook. Give them a follow on their YouTube. I'm going to be doing the very first live YouTube. You'll have missed it, lads, because this is coming out next week, which is on Monday. But we're doing a live YouTube tomorrow, a live watch along in the England-Argentina game with Sully and Tig. It'll be up on YouTube anyway, so you will get to see it. So if you want to go back and have a look at us reacting to the match as it happened live, that's going to be a bit of crack. So that's one thing. Oh yeah, follow me as well, and follow Conversations with Cornelius, and follow today's guest, whose details I'll be giving in a minute. He's a surprise. I can't tell you who he is. We're bringing him on there now in a minute. And then last of all, Patreon. I've got a Patreon. If you want to support me, if you're like, do you know that Cornelius fella is actually sound out, and he's inside there doing fucking podcasts morning, noon and night. And look, do you know what? He's on the Manjaro. He's after losing a lot of weight, and that has to be expensive. I'd love to throw him $5 a month towards it. There you go. That's the pay. That's the not there. You can do that way. Like, you can throw it in that way, and you get a free episode then every single week as well with myself and my Bjor. Right. I'd say it's time to do the intro for this week's guest. You ready?
Yeah. But Jesus, I've been here all the time. Whenever you want, I thought you'd never shut up.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fair enough. He's rude anyway. I suppose that's the first thing that we need to start with. Today's guest is rude, right? Not rude hullet, just rude. This week's guest was on the podcast a few months back and was one of our and that podcast was actually one of our most listened to podcasts this year. It's in the top 5. Absolutely incredible podcast. He's an actor, he's a writer, he's a comedian, and he's best known as Reggie, Black Rock Road, or Ask Audrey. These would be aliases that he'd be known as. Well, he's back again this week to tell me all about his tour. He's on tour, and he's going to tell me all about it. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage your friend and mine, Mr. Pat Fitzpatrick. And the crowd go,
Thank you. Thanks. Lads, I'd be very nervous if I were ye, because he's already after dissing a restaurant and an exterminator as being shit. It's only a matter of time before he turns on ye.
Who exterminates the exterminator?
Remind me never to hire you for anything, though. I didn't like the food. The exterminator didn't kill all the wasps.
Well, I mean, like, you're paying for the food, you're paying for the exterminator, you're paying for if you paid for an
You could switch this to a kind of a consumer podcast.
Just come out rating things.
Yeah, not a bad idea.
I don't know. I think it's
angry consumers, like.
Yeah, but it's a vibe I don't want to explore in life, though, isn't it?
It is miserable.
It's like food. Like when you're reviewing food, like you're under pressure. Like, and then if you say something bad and it's genuine, right?
Yeah.
And you're making any sort of money from it, which is ultimately what you want to do anyway.
Yeah.
Then you're like, he's being paid for that.
Yeah.
That's not his real opinion.
I'm worried about your Philly cheesesteak, though.
Go on.
Because you said you went, like, it was bad where you had it. Mm-hmm. You said you went to Philadelphia and you had a nice one.
I actually had it in Texas.
I have, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, but the guy's restaurant, he was from Philadelphia.
Okay. Here's my advice to anyone watching. If you want to have a Philadelphia cheesesteak, so go to Texas, because I had one in Philadelphia. Donkey cock. I mean, they didn't advertise it as that, but it was.
And how did you know it tasted like donkey cock?
Well, listen, in my business, you know what I mean? You don't think, when you're starting out, you know the way it is, Con.
I know, yeah.
You never say no to anything.
Well,
nothing. Things I've done,
yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff on the dark that doesn't pop up in the mainstream media.
Yeah.
But the videos are.
They're the high paid gigs then as well. Do you know?
Fuck, exactly. Yeah. And the donkey got nothing. But
Well, did it get anything at all?
Well, we won't go into it.
All right, okay, fair enough. We'll move on from it. But anyway, yeah. So, look, I don't know. Like, where did you have your Philly cheesesteak? In Texas?
In Philadelphia.
In Philadelphia, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think they were going, you have to have this. It's just freaking lovely. And it's like a giant bread roll with kind of greasy, flat beef, that kind of useless beef. And then stringy cheese. And it was just...
You're making it sound fucking disgusting altogether.
Yeah.
It's
a bad... in fairness to the restaurant you went to, maybe just don't get a Philly cheesesteak.
I just didn't like it. But my wife loved what she got and my kids loved what they got. So maybe it's a preference thing.
Yeah.
And that is what it is. That is what the Philly cheesesteak... But I remember how I used to have it is I used to be cleaning windows when I was living in Texas. And myself and my uncle would... Every time we were working in this area, he'd always go... We'll go to Joe's afterwards for the Philly cheesesteak, and I will be like, you'd be starving, you'd be out in the Texas sun.
Oh, yeah.
And like, I'd say anything, tasted amazing.
That's the best.
Do you know, that kind of way?
Yeah.
Have a cold beer with it.
Yeah.
And so that was my thing of it, but I haven't had one since, so maybe I just don't fucking like Philly cheesesteaks.
I think it's fucking
give Barcadia's Philly cheesesteak a fucking go, lads. All right? I take it back. Pat has shown me the error of my ways. And also, do you know what? Fucking wasps, you're welcome. Fucking come back. You're very... No, I wouldn't go to the same hole. It's full of poison. But, find another hole. Are you fucking happy with that now? Do you know what I mean?
The exterminator is going, Jesus Christ.
Well, you had to come back.
I'm going to have to go back. He fucking had the trap set and everything.
I'd actually have to run that past the wife.
He's after telling the wasps.
Pat, what's the crack? How have you been since the last time I saw you?
I'm semi-retired, to be honest, Colin. At the last couple of weeks, I fucking realised I've had a kind of an absolute, I've reached a turning point in my life, like the weather. I'm nearly 60 now, right? I'm 59, so I can start thinking in these terms of like, I don't want to work anymore. I'm fucking this weather, wearing shorts. I get up, I don't, you know yourself anyway, it's kind of quiet time of the year for what we do. So I kind of think I'm done, really. I should fuck off if you don't mind.
You think you're done? Like, you think you're...
I've totally lost any kind of work... Mojo. Yeah. And do you know what it is as well? I think I just need to go away. You need to go away. You need to fucking leave the house behind and the 10 jobs you have to do every day anyway. And my cat has diarrhea. So every morning starts... The cat doesn't seem to mind because my cat is a fucking, but like, and I saw her, she's 20. She's the cat that wouldn't
That's
fucking die.
That's an old fucking pussy cat.
And she had to get shaved because she can't groom herself. So she looks like fucking, all of her shaved. So she looks like fucking cartoon cat, and she's whatever's going on with her insides now. So she just projectile shits up against the side. So every morning starts with that.
What's the name of this pussy?
Maisie.
She
doesn't listen to the podcast, you're all right. You can say what you like.
Yeah, all right, okay.
She could end up in a Philly cheesesteak.
Has she eaten a Philly cheesesteak is what I'm wondering. Is this what she just...
I don't know. No. She's actually, that's the other thing. Like, she won't eat the cheap Kushida, the cheap little cat food.
Yeah. She fucking will if you don't give her any food, man. Just leave it there and tell her fuck off.
She won't. And she visibly starts dying in front of you, and then the kids are going, "Oh, would you not,
kill her?
Yeah, well, no.
Put her out of her misery?
No, they wouldn't. Absolutely not. Would you go down to and buy it's a gourmet one that we have to give her, and that's all she'll eat. So we're kind of hostage to this fucking ancient cat. And old cats are no crack either.
Yeah.
You're getting none of your chasing strings or any of that shit.
I was watching this TikTok where this woman says she can talk to dead animals, right? And she was talking to a cat, right? And the cat said, "Oh my God, when I die, I want to come back as a cat again. A cat is the best life. We have such a life. It's an amazing." But if you think about it, cats have a great fucking life. They just do what they want. Like an inside cat, is just a great... And then outside, they're the perfect hunters. They've got such a spring. They've got the... I love watching cats.
Would they wear a nappy? Because that's what I'm up against at the moment. Because it's you have to buy those... But we're buying expensive food and these giant floor wipes are about this size because you've got to... I won't go into it, but that's the start of my day every day.
You've kind of gone into it, though.
I know, yeah. In fact, I have a few photographs there. I'll put them up on the thing. But
so you're dealing with a...
I want to go on holiday, so someone else has to do that for a few weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So, but yeah, I've no mojo at the moment.
Well, to be fair now, I would say that the majority, you're spot on. There isn't much comedy happening anyway. It's too hot for comedy. People are outdoors enjoying the sun for the 3 weeks that we'll get it.
Yeah.
And it is not a prudent time, June and July, to be on tour or whatever. So it's grand to be taking it off. But it's also, I totally get what you're saying, because you just kind of fall 1 or 2 days off and you kind of go, fuck this. Fuck
no, yeah. And if you suddenly was, actually nothing has changed around me. There seems to be a bit of money coming in and some food, and my wife's working away, which is great.
Is your old doll working, is it?
Yeah.
Sure, you don't need to fucking do a tap.
I know, yeah. But that's where I'm going with this.
She's relying on me. You could just take it off.
Yeah.
I did a good job.
Yeah.
And the last podcast you were telling me you had a bit of a pension going as well, so you could probably just go.
Well, I'm not far off it. No, that's not true.
How far, when will you be able to cash out? Or ching ching?
So you can kind of do stuff now, I think.
Can you?
But that's kind of dopey.
Yeah, you wouldn't do it now.
This pension consultant guy told me, you come in and I'll tell you how long your money will last. So you can, and he showed me a graph of another guy in 85. Now he's got no money. I went, fucking great. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, actually, can I just tell you?
You've kids though. They'll fucking take over.
No. With fair deal and all that stuff, you don't want to have any money anyway. Because when you're in the home wearing the giant nappy, you don't want to have any money because the government takes it off you. Whereas if you've no money, they're going to put you in there anyway and pay for you.
Very good.
So that's...
You can give, and another thing I saw then on a TikTok, 3,000 a year as a gift to the kids,
Every year.
I
know people who are doing that, and I will actually shop them to the revenue unless they give me 1,500 as well, tax free.
I can't wait to be making enough to be able to afford to do that.
Well, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? But there's all these little things. But I'd say take it, man. Take it. I could do with less competition.
But you know what you feel as well, this life at the moment, though, that we know it's not going to last, right?
What, life?
So, no, well, this bit, the Irish fucking
weather.
Costa del Ireland. That you live in the know, you have to grab it now, definitely.
It's like what I was saying there with the swimming pool out the back. We spent I get very and Noel is the same, I get very antsy if I don't do something every day work-wise. You know, I find it very hard to take a full day off. And I know as well, like I'm not sleeping great at the moment, right? I'm getting, probably 6 hours a night.
The heat. That's loads.
Is that loads?
Yeah.
Like they say,
unbroken.
8. Yeah.
But
is that good?
Yeah. Well, do you feel tired?
Yeah.
Or you need more, so.
Yeah, probably need more. Yeah.
I don't know.
But they say your man, sleep expert is 7 to 8.
Yeah, but some people say, it's very, very dependent on the person, like that. Some people. But if you're getting 6 hours unbroken.
I am getting 6 hours.
I don't get, because I'm the going to the toilet in the middle of the night age, so that's just, and I'm a light sleeper. So, so.
When does that happen now when you have to go to the jacks all the time? Is it for pisses?
Well, at the moment, about 3 times a night. But, well, yeah.
You have to get up 3 times
No.
a night?
No, it can happen anytime, really, but, about 2 or 3, I suppose.
And would you not just, what is it?
Piss? What are my options?
Yeah. We used to have, remember the pot years ago? The pot.
Well, remember the pigeon in the hospital? That and a friend of mine had a horrible situation in the hospital once where they gave him the pigeon and
you just put your...
but he drunk a load of water and the pigeon was filling up and the nurse had gone away and pigeon filled up and then he just
spilt all over the floor.
You can't stop. Anyway, so just get a bigger pigeon. Just that would be a bit of advice there.
Yeah, I think we could fucking probably maybe look at, what are they called? Those little piss pots that they
pigeons.
There's a French word for them as well, isn't there?
Pissoir.
Pissoir. No,
yeah.
But anyway, this has been very informative so far. You know,
we're all learning.
We're going to play trending topics with Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan.
Super. My favourite bit of the show.
All right, okay. # Wimbledon.
Yeah. I turned against tennis. Because we can all remember it, can't you? Like this, we had that kind of fucking... We used to play it. Like you'd be the various... And you had favourites and there was drama and you kind of understood, Bjorg and Mackin, or depending on the age you were doing it. And then...
I was kind of Pat Cash and Boris Becker. And Ivan Lendl.
Yeah.
And then Martina and Steffi Graf.
And they were big servers then, though, so it just became really boring, actually.
Pete Sampras was the fella that came in with the big serve.
And actually, social media really was the thing, because, we only realised... Because remember the summer in Ireland, you'd watch tennis... You'd watch the horse show, even though it was shit, horses jumping over.
And you go out the back then and make little jumps and put a little...
Oh no, but I had a horse.
Had you?
No. But exactly that. You'd copy each sport because we didn't have mobile phones.
And you'd imagination.
There's a kind of but no, that's bullshit. I hate that.
No, I disagree with you there.
They were all shit hobbies. Nobody should be fucking prancing around in their back garden with a fucking broom going, come on, Lofty, get over that final wall and win the Grand Prix, Puissance, or whatever they fucking call it. Yeah, I know, I'm looking at him.
I did it.
Eddie Mackin, whatever.
Eddie Mackin, yeah. And what was the horse that was on cocaine? There was a horse.
They're all on cocaine.
They're all on cocaine.
Yeah, they're not going to run their own like that.
But me and my sisters, we'd go out and we'd build a little thing and it was like 4 faults. Remember, if you hit the thing, it was like 4 faults.
And would you have a refusal? Do you remember that? If you just came, that was 2 then.
But you could kind of go back and go around it.
But you lost points for that.
You did, yeah.
And did you salute the judges?
Did. I can't remember if we saluted the judges now, but we probably did. But this is what I'm saying to you about boredom, right? Because I have 2 small little scallywags at home now, right?
Yeah.
And they just want to be entertained all the time, which is fair enough, okay? That's the way the world they live in. You can't help the world you live in.
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
And they want to be entertained non-stop. So we're doing our best to put them into camps and all that kind of stuff. But there's a lot of time that they're around. And Noel is adamant that they don't go on the devices, right? The iPad and the Netflix.
Do you limit it every day?
So we limit it.
What's the limit? How much?
It's an hour a day.
Ah, Jesus. You're puritanical. You're fucking Oliver Cromwell. That's terrible.
But that's what it is. I don't know if we're freaking adhering. Like when Noel isn't there, I'm not adhering to it, right? In any way, shape or form. I'm like, get on those and shut the fuck up. Right?
I've heard that.
Right?
I think they call it fun dad.
And they do love me now. The boys love me. They do love me, right?
Yeah. Well, look,
and it's
whatever works for you.
Whatever works. Do you know what I mean?
It's cheaper than trying to buy their affection.
But I do like her. I do like the theory that she has, right?
And it's great that one of these trying to parent them.
And one of us is doing a fucking cracking job, you know? And but her theory is, and I adhere to it now. I adhere to it because Noel's around most of the time. But if she went in to do some shopping or whatever, like. But the lads are saying they're bored all the time now. We're bored. And I left the house today, and my youngest Hunter was out the back with chalk and other kind of colours and stuff like that, and he was drawing shit on the footpath outside. And my other young fella was inside and he was playing Jenga. And there's no way they'd be doing that if they were left on stuff.
No, that's true. You have to fight the kind of the 10 minutes of and insist and pull out the games. But like all this thing of, imagination. Like there was no imagination in copying. Like so you'd watch Wimbledon and then you go out and you'd get a bit of chalk and you draw a court and you'd copy what you're doing.
That's
you
true.
pranced around with broom and fucking Lofty or whatever the horse was called. And so what we were doing was copying it. I think it's much better now, and I think you should be giving them minimum of 2.5 hours. Do you have a start time and an end time?
So I think the way she does it is it's like half an hour in the morning and half an hour in the evening. But they can save their time. They could have it all in the evening, or they could have it all in the morning.
And can they come to her and plead for more? Is that pointless?
There's a lot of pleading going on, and how it's being remedied is if you do this, you get an extra 10 minutes. Do you know, you can get extra 10 minutes. Do a chore,
leverage.
like,
you
know.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like it's hard now. Like I'm absolutely a soft touch. Honest to God, I'm a soft touch with the lads. I don't mind saying it, like, you know. I just don't. I love spoiling them. I love spoiling them.
See, the other thing as well is, do you ever get this thing like where you know you've got this parent who's kind of feeding their child waffles every day, and you're doing your best with your kids, and their child is healthier than your kids, and you're going, fuck it, it's not worth it.
No.
You're kind of wishing, to be blunt, the other child fucking drops dead from waffle poisoning. And they're refusing to fucking drop dead. If anything, they're thriving. They're fine, big, waffly child, right? And that's that kind of disappointment that something terrible hasn't happened to someone else's kid.
It's like, it's definitely a thing that's in the back of every comedian's mind anyway, definitely.
Oh,
like,
yeah, wishing
like,
evil.
Wishing like a non-life-threatening tragedy.
Yeah.
You know, so that it'll elevate my son. You know, like when my young fella didn't make the Cork City Sports, I was like, who needs to drop out? You know, that kind of way.
Oh no, because
like,
mine...
Maybe they get a puncher in the way.
He's fucking listens to this, because my young fella, because he's a small school in Ballycotton, so, and the way it works in his class, he's kind of guaranteed to qualify. He only wants to go because you've been there on the day. Like, it's fucking...
It's a day off. Like,
it's a day off, and they get to go to McDonald's on the way home.
Yeah.
Like, he's still running last year's race, right? So he's not going to win either, right? Now, he's very good at coming home with an excuse as to why the referee in a fucking foot race did him wrong. But like, himself and his friend are basically competing for second last every year. But he doesn't care because he's going to fucking McDonald's.
This is it, man. This is it. Sometimes it's like we were saying.
Maybe I should give him more waffles. Maybe that's what the problem is.
Yeah, what's in waffles? Like, do you know what I mean? Potatoes, they're a vegetable. They say vegetables are good.
Superfood, I saw somebody call it recently.
Speaking of superfoods, hashtag brain boosting foods. What a segue. Oh my God, brain boosting foods is trending. I don't know.
Oily fish.
Oily fish.
I believe the oily fish because I like oily fish.
Do you eat a lot of oily fish?
Do you know what I eat is anchovy.
Yeah, that's
because I like the Cork. You know the Cork pronunciation of anchovy.
Anchovy.
You know, my friend kind of goes anchovies. You know, the Cork people go long on the second syllable.
Syllable.
But I'd eat. I would a bit kind of mackerel, trout. Fucking trout is great. No, trout's the simplest food of all, and the kids actually like it. You bang it on the grill, top for 10 minutes, put it in front of them.
And they eat it.
They love trout.
Are the eyes still in the fish? Like, are the eyes?
No, it's a fillet. Like.
It's a fillet. Oh, fillet of trout.
No, it's live.
Are you buying that in like?
You get these things called fish shops. So they have fish, right? You go in there. You can see the fish. They're up in. I suppose up in fucking North Cork. You want to just have photographs of fish.
We've heard of these fish shops up here, but I never thought I'd actually.
All right,
meet someone.
I'll rob it from the Lord's River.
But like that's punishable by death.
Yeah.
But you go into fishmonger and actively seek. Look, I'm just.
What is this thing you were doing?
I just think that's class because I don't.
But I live in Ballycotton. Actually, I can't afford Ballycotton. I live outside Ballycotton.
Yeah.
But they allow you into the fish shop.
Okay.
So it's actually in Shanagary, but it's this really nice.
It's not
fish.
trout a cheap fish.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's real cheap. Yeah. And it's cheaper. Like it's half the price of salmon, and it's nicer.
Yeah. And is it wild trout then?
No, it's all farmed.
Is it farmed?
Yeah.
Okay.
And a fellow was telling me like that, you know the way you go into the thing? So first of all, the lights. If the lights aren't working in the fish shop, it's all grey. It looks like eating shit. But they feed them pellets to make them pink.
Oh, for fuck's
sake.
So
this friend of mine went to a salmon farm once, and the guy was saying, okay, we've an order in from a certain country. They like it this colour. So here's the pellets for France. In they go. Coloury fish.
I don't know, man, about fucking, like, I suppose, do you know, why should we have a problem with fish farms? We don't have a problem with regular farms.
Well, if we stop farming, we're going to die.
Do you know what I mean? Exactly, yeah.
Like that's why there are so many of us.
Our river, the Blackwater, was poisoned there last year by some fucking company throwing a load of fertiliser in. So all the fish that were coming up and down are all gone. So it's
really?
like, it's completely abandoned.
And how long does it take? Does it recover then? Or?
I was talking to someone who said it could take like a decade. Could take a decade to get back to what it
Because
was like.
isn't that a big thing? Fishing rights in the Blackwater is
a huge thing.
Fuck yeah.
And I live right next to the Blackwater. It's like I walk past.
And does the Lord allow you to fish?
I do. Well, whether he likes it or not, I'll cast my net and
Poaching again, Connie.
under the full gaze of a dark moon. Throw my net in and masturbate vigorously until the fish arrives, usually trout.
You definitely have a very unusual notion of what fishing is. It's mainly wanking.
Mainly wanking. You know, I'll tell you, you try some ejaculate and you'll get plenty of fish. Brazil nuts are healthy by all accounts. You eat Brazil nuts?
I eat a number of nuts. My son would particularly like this now because I just said nuts.
No, all right, okay.
And actually, my wife just bought a kind of peanut butter recently, and it's literally called nut butter. So we had to nearly bring him to the fucking A&E when he saw that.
I think that's an Irish company, isn't it?
Is it? It's delicious.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Really nice. Yeah,
they do.
But I'd give up the. Do you know fruit and nut?
I love.
That was my. You know the way you need your snacks so that I don't eat 40 chunkies or whatever, 40
Yeah.
fucking bars. So I used to have them until I kind of looked at the
like
calories.
a dairy milk fruit and nut. Is that what you're talking
I
about?
know, you know the bag of fruit and nut that you get, like so it's raisins and almonds
Yeah.
and shit. But
Okay, I was
the
off
fruit
thinking
because of the
chocolate.
fruit. It's like you might as well be having 40 cheeseburgers. You know, I thought this was healthy, but if you eat the nuts, they're kind of calorific, but they're my go-to.
But
the
there's
bag of nuts.
Nuts are so
Mixed
good,
nuts.
so good, and it's got this thing in them called psyllium or salium. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it, which is like for like the active ingredient to help
Really?
develop your brain. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like, and
Yeah.
walnuts in particular.
I like a walnut,
and
yeah.
like there's a bit of eating in a walnut. Like,
Yeah,
do you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
You're like, do you ever try and chew a walnut? You could be chewing away on a walnut for a half an hour. Like, I recommend you try it out, lads. What else is? 1 second now. Dark chocolate as well is another one of them.
Not worth it. Like
70%.
yeah, 70% shit. Because like chocolate is when it's treat time, and like why would I want to be eating some bitter piece of fucking
Yeah, I'm with you. Man.
cyborg?
No,
Like
I'm with you. If you're going to have chocolate,
Now
like,
Bourneville was a great cheat because remember Bourneville. That's dark
Bourneville.
chocolate.
Yeah.
That's milk chocolate. Like I mean, it's
there was another one that had kind of a minty sauce inside in it. It was a dark chocolate.
Yeah.
Came out of Christmas. Can't think of the name.
the
of it now.
after eights, like
After eights.
Oh yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're not.
Yeah.
But you know the one you're getting the really kind of virtuous one. Where you're
Yeah.
you're heading for the sainthood stuff.
Yeah.
And you're biting, and it's kind
You
of
might have
brittle, and it's
it's-
fucking rotten.
Where's the joy in fucking biting into one of those?
Well, it's people who get who find food virtuous. Like it's food virtue.
Extra virgin olive oil is supposed to be amazing for the brain. Amazing. Brain boosting thing. Do you use any extra virgin olive oil?
Well, I kind of don't bother since I remember reading a few years ago that like apparently it's one of the main mafia things in Europe is diluting olive oil.
Go away.
Most of the olive oil that's travelling around in giant tankers wasn't actually hand crushed
For
by
fuck's
artisans
sake,
in
yeah.
the Tuscan hillsides.
You could see the fucking
so it's
scallywags at it, couldn't you?
Yeah. So it's apparently it's a classic because like the premium, obviously, it's so attractive. Like
Yeah.
if you're, for people like ourselves in the organised crime game, the premium, the amount of extra money you can make easily.
Off the top.
Apparently, unless you're kind of buying it off the farmer and so I'm doing it, it's now can I say for legal reasons that none of this is true?
Well,
Obviously.
if you end up swimming with the fishes, with
Can
the
I say
trout,
to-
if you're
can I say
inside...
to people in big extra virgin olive oil, I've no quarrel with you.
Listen,
legally
you
or
heard it here now.
otherwise. Yeah.
Reggie is fucking seriously against the Costa Nostra, you know.
Well, I don't, because you know the way
He thinks
we
they're
don't
fucking, he
really
thinks you're
put it.
skimming
Do you
it.
put olive oil on stuff?
I'll tell you now, right? For a long time, I didn't know what extra virgin meant, right? And I was like, sure, I'm not going to buy that. The fuck, I'll just buy this one here, which is, the one that has been, I suppose, more treated. I suppose extra virgin olive oil isn't it? It's just
first
basically
press,
the
yeah.
first press, and that's
Yeah.
the oil, and
Yeah.
that's the rest of them have been treated.
Skin's probably shit in it.
All that kind of shit. So I was having just the normal stuff for years, and then I found out what that was, and I thought it was better, but now after talking to you, and I think now the mafia have their sticky fingers.
I
in it.
don't really put it on much stuff. Like, do you
I
know
don't
one
eat
thing?
enough salads to-
Do you know what you put it on? Actually, an orange. Because I lived with this fella from Sicily. I
orange?
told you this before. Corleone. He's actually
you
called.
fucking-
He's from Corleone. Remember I told you.
You
he was
did
trying to
tell me this on the
Remember he could
podcast,
sell
yeah.
Levi's out of the back of a car
Yeah.
in Dublin. We won't go into that's another story. But they was poor and they had proper oil. Because they had nowhere to get it. But and he was pouring it on an orange and and a bit of salt.
the best of gear.
Fucking
Oh my God.
Unbelievable.
I would love to try that now.
Yeah, no.
An orange,
just
extra
ordinary
virgin olive oil, and some salt.
just a little sprinkle of salt on that, and it is outstanding. Yeah,
I tell you now about
tastes of the Mediterranean.
I'd fucking love to try that. I have. I think I might have been talking to you about salt as well the last time you were on. I'm indulging in some. It's my little guilty pleasure now at the moment. I have a seaweed salt at the moment that came from the Achill Island. It's nearly gone. So I'm going to be looking now at what salt can I fucking experiment with next?
Somewhere in a small part of Palermo now you're sort of going, we got to get into the seaweed salt. People will pay a fortune for that shit. Tony, go to Achill.
Get that fucking seaweed that's outside there, you fuck.
Yeah.
You fat fuck.
My mother, who's actually quite old herself, she called my son Small Tony the other day, which isn't his name at all, but I thought,
Small Tony.
This is fucking great. We're in The Sopranos now. Where's Small Tony?
Small Tony. Hashtag Sam Neill.
Yeah.
Actor. Interesting thing about Sam Neill, right? He passed away. That's why he's trending. Okay, I don't know if you know him.
No, not personally. No, I saw a picture of him with Cillian Murphy.
Yeah,
I do remember.
He was in Peaky Blinders.
Can I say one thing? Right?
Yeah.
I used to go on, like, when people would pay to come on shit like this, right?
Yeah.
Other than just giving you a bottle of water.
I'll actually need €1 for that, man.
When you get the deposit anyway.
Yeah.
But actually, I'll take the bottle with me. That's one. But
no, we need the bottle as well. That's tap water. We just have to refill them again.
Really, you would never know. But anyway.
It's a scam.
We'd go on, I used to go on Ryan Tubridy, and I remember I'd go on, and there'd be kind of people you'd know from the newspaper business, and they'd have things like that now. They'd go, I remember he said to one of them, kind of going, so, I don't know, more or whatever, tennis, or, what do you think? And she just shook her head, not me asking, I've no interest in tennis. So Sam Neill, it means nothing to me.
It means nothing to you.
I know, is that terrible?
No, it's not.
It's kind of like it means nothing to me at all.
Okay, so did you watch Peaky Blinders?
Yeah, I can't remember who he was in it.
Played a Northern Irish Presbyterian fella in it.
Yeah.
Did you watch fucking the one with the dinosaurs? What's that called? Jurassic Park. He's the fucking main dude.
Obviously, he's not very memorable because I was going. I did watch all these things.
He looks around and he's like, what? Yeah, I suppose. I don't know. I didn't know much about him either. I just said he was trending.
Apparently, he made very nice wine. But do you know what? Sometimes it can be kind of. I've no opinion on most things.
Yeah.
Do you know that kind of shit?
I know that way. Actually, yeah. I've no opinion on lots of things, and
as I'm getting older, I have opinions on the wrong things.
On the wrong, stupid.
But
things,
as I get older, I kind of going. So my daughter now she's 4, and she's at that age where, when you kind of think, fuck it, opinions. They're the best things to have. Opinions. I can't believe I'm right about everything as well, right? So there's a lot of opinions going around our place at the moment, and I'm going. I was like that. It's an absolute goal when I was 14.
It's interesting though. It's an interesting thing to say that there now, because that is something that is important to the comedic mind, in my opinion. And I've often gone, fucking hell, the lads are talking about that there now, and I had nothing to say about it. But I think it is important to keep that muscle in your mind, you flex it or work it out. Not in the middle of summer now when you're having your 2 weeks off. You're entitled to that.
No, because actually, would you believe it? I'm in the. We'll talk about it in a minute, but I'm sure you are as well. You're thinking about the next show all the time, and I always try to think of, I need the name. If I have the name and the idea and what'll go on the poster, I'm settled. I can even go for a couple of months before I start writing it. And it actually came to me today in like that.
The name
fully
of the show.
Formed. Right?
Brilliant. Do you want to let us know?
I don't.
Fuck's sake.
In case another idea comes fully formed tomorrow. But anyway, but it came to me fully formed. And, that's because I wasn't doing anything as well. But that thing of feeling it, and I'd say you're the same, you know very quickly if there's a joke in this or not. You kind of go, okay, there's a joke here, and there's a very good joke, and I may need to stay at it for a while, or else you're kind of going, nah, fuck it. This has been done 1,000 times, or there's no joke.
And I think it's interesting as well, when you were saying there at the start, you've no mojo at the moment. What happens to me when I'm in that thing, and that could easily be me now next week. I could be like, I know, even a couple of weeks ago, I was in here, and I remember starting off the podcast going, oh, I'm in bad form, oh, fuck's sake, no, I can't get my head in the game, and la, 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 la. And I remember texting Alessio afterwards going, Jesus, I don't know, was that a bit dark there as a start? But it's like, you just have to, it's just life, you're just kind of going through it. But I find when I've no mojo, stuff like ideas pop into my head. About 2 or 3 days into it.
You're supposed to stop.
You're supposed to stop.
Yeah.
There's no rest.
No.
Do you know, which is a modern life.
You were saying, you were saying there, you feel antsy if you don't do something every day. And it's, and I can feel it at home. You see, the problem is when you have kids, you can't do nothing.
You can't. No.
You can't. And
you have to do a lot of shit that you wouldn't be doing.
You can have as many hours as you want on the screens. But even at that, you kind of we're at the kind of, now it's great because we're going to the beach. I'm enjoying the summer with the kids a lot.
Yeah.
But it's not I'm doing nothing. But we're kind of going swimming every night or whatever.
Well, you're living your life. And I know what you mean. You're living your life. So if you were working 9 to 5, you'd come home and you'd still swim with your kids and you'd still have your holidays.
Yeah.
Whereas Yeah, like
I don't think I've earned my holidays though, because I've been.
there's a constant feeling of, oh fuck it, I'm like, what am I at here? Like what the fuck?
No,
Do you know
somebody
what I mean?
said
Like,
to me, and it's actually Brendan
I'm
O'Connor,
working
who does
hard
the
enough.
radio show. You know, Brendan does the RT.
what's he on? Some sort of a podcast or something?
No, he's
Never
the
heard
main radio program. Anyway, Brendan
Yeah.
O'Connor. But Brendan said to me, because he'd know a lot of, he said, like, I was saying it to him when I first started doing this, the comedian stuff. I was saying, I fucking don't do much work. He said, anyone in show business will kind of say, like, you are, because you're doing the odd hours. You're out driving back from somewhere, 1 o'clock in the morning or whatever. You're just doing odd hours. But because we're conditioned to all our lives getting up and doing stuff between 8 and 5 or whatever, we think we're doing nothing. We're just doing it at a fucking weird time.
Doing it at a weird time and not for as long. But like I'd push back a small bit. Like, when you're up on stage, like, and you'll know it yourself, and you're up on stage and you're responsible for making 100 people enjoy their night. Yeah. That takes fucking far more out of me anyway than an 8-hour shift would.
2 days later, I hit a wall and I have no energy.
And then if you're doing back to back, if you're like, my tour is about to start now in September, and I've like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and if I'm not doing a tour show, I'm opening for Chris.
Yeah,
and it's like, and Chris's gigs are, like 500, 600, 800,000 people, like, and there's a pressure there that I love it. Don't get me wrong now. Do you know what I mean? But there's a payoff.
Oh no, you like adrenaline. You basically borrow a ton of adrenaline from wherever that comes from, and then you fucking pay for it.
Yeah,
about like you're like a kind of a crumpled rag in the corner. At least that's what I tell my wife when I refuse to do any work for 3 days. No. I tell her
you tell her.
I can't do any work now for 3 days because I had to do 40 minutes there down in Ballycotton
I know.
the other night.
But in fairness, now I'm sure your wife is the same as my wife. Like if you're with a singer or an actor or a comedian, that's work, like, and they're there, like they know the crack over the next couple of days.
I should have ordered my wife, really. You put it beautifully there now, but actually I have to say, if I went home now and said those words, I'd find that kind of bit of pushback.
Would it be a bit pushback?
Okay, no, it'd be pushback, which is fair enough too.
And that's Sam Neill then, is it?
That's my opinion on Sam Neill dying,
okay. Well, that concludes Trending Topics with Cornelius Manning Gonzalez. All right, Pat, we're into the hard-hitting section of the podcast. You know the crack. Excellent. If you have a guilty pleasure, what is your guilty pleasure?
I enjoyed Patrick Freyne's article in the Irish Times when Bonnie Tyler died, where he described he'd interviewed her and she had said, I'm a lot of people's guilty pleasure. And he said, and he said, you should have been a guiltless pleasure because you are a pleasure. And that kind of music, like Meatloaf, there's a certain pitch in my life, particularly maybe on a Saturday night. If I did a gig on the Friday, you might have a beer or two, you're feeling good about yourself. Bonnie Tyler, Meatloaf, or shit Italian pop from like 1980s. Umberto Tozzi, Ti Amo. That kind of stuff. Because again, the fella I lived with, sorry for dissing your people there, by the way, I forgot. But I like shit Italian. Like, I love it. And it's like they even be covers of songs. Like I'm a Believer. If you heard the cover of I'm a Believer in Italian, it's fucking much better. I do know what he's saying because it's, then it's our face.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that I don't understand. So songs that I don't understand, but the Italian is so lyrical. That's my guilty pleasure. And I play it going along in the car, belting out words I don't understand.
Do you listen to music on the way to a gig?
No. I listen to music on the way from. Normally what I do is, so just say the average kind of travel time for a gig for me would be, say, an hour and a half. And normally what I do at the start, I kind of don't do crowd work. I do a bit, but I build in a kind of, because a lot of Reggie's humour is about the place he's been to. So I'll do a bit about that. So I'll have a kind of a different opening to each show based on wherever I am, and it might be 5 minutes. And I'll work that out in the car. But I don't want to so I'll start by listening to a podcast for about 40 minutes. And then when I know I'm about 40 minutes from the venue, I'll turn off the podcast. And now you're kind of going, okay, you're under pressure. Like, because if I leave myself the hour and a half, I'll just waffle. I'm going, okay, 40 minutes now to figure this out. And you know yourself, you work it in your head, you go, okay, you can work it better. And then that really works for me. And then I come home.
That's like a warm-up, so like.
Pretty much. Yeah. And you're kind of getting, okay, now I'm in the zone. And then I'll sound check that. I'll do the sound check with that just to see. And do you find when you try something for the first time, you go, oh shit, this is terrible. When there's nobody in the room and you're just
Well, it's a funny one. I think if I'm doing my own tour shows, my audience, and I'm sure your audience is the same, and most audiences that are coming specifically to see you or an act, they're there, they're delighted to be there, they're going to give you the benefit of the doubt for 5 or 6 minutes anyway. And then, do you know what I mean? And if it's any, like, do you know what I mean? I'm sure what you prepared is funny anyway, and it's like it's on point because, like, I mean, you wouldn't be doing it otherwise. But I'd find, like, I give you an example of I was doing a gig last week in Photo Island for the Portsmouth. The championship team in England, Portsmouth Division 1, Old Division 2, and they wanted me to do an hour, right? And I was like, I'm not doing an hour. These are all mostly English lads, like, and my show is about hurling and like autism and parenthood, right? That's what my show is about. And but I said, look, I can put together a show for you, and I'll pick. I'll host it, and I'll get two headliners to do 20 minutes. So I got Fred Cook and Mike Morgan, who are two awesome comedians, absolutely awesome comedians. Yeah. And I went down and I opened up, and we all struggled. It was a tough gig because it was in the middle of, it was like they were just after their dinner. They had a double shift done, a double training exercise on that day. It was bright outside. There was no curtains. They're all fanging, hello, fanging Magus, Paddy, you know, that kind of stuff. And I had written stuff specifically that I thought might be funny, like, and it was mostly kind of roasting kind of stuff, like, you know, like I roasted.
Which I'd have is for corporate stuff. Yeah, that's a good idea.
You know, and like it was so hard, man. Yeah. So hard. And then I went into material at the end, so hard. Yeah. Very, very difficult. And the lads found like I've seen these two lads and destroy rooms, like, and they were just like, you know, they were getting nothing back. So it depends.
But you know, I always think, and I've done gigs like that, and I've done particularly lunchtime gigs, which are a nightmare because most people aren't drinking.
They're sober as well. That's
so like, you know, and you're in a big room, it's not, you kind of realise the importance of theatre. In other words, creating a stage, lighting, sound, seating, facing the thing. I mean, there's nothing worse
details, man.
When they're all, and that makes such a huge. Yeah. I was talking to actually Anton Savage, you know, the guy, he was emceeing it.
Never heard of him. Who's him?
Anyway, you know, Jesus, you fucking anyone who isn't you. Anyone who isn't you.
Up and comers.
There's a guy Lionel Messi playing for Argentina. You probably haven't heard of him, no. But Lionel said to me that he was emceeing the thing.
Never heard of him.
And Neil Delamere was doing the.
Neil's good friend.
It was a corporate thing, and he said, "You see." Yeah, I wonder would Neil give me a gig opening from there. Neil, give him a call.
Good friend.
But he said that he was, and I could get it like that. He was very insistent that he wasn't going to come on until there was no chance that there'd be people rattling cutlery or people coming around with desserts and stuff like that. But even at that, like if you're in these corporate lineups where people are sitting at tables with their back to you, so you're basically the best man that went on too long. You know, in these things, in a badly lit thing. Now, the one I did a gig in the Royal Cork Yacht Club. Cornelius, don't worry about it, you'll never get in there. And it was the first time I ever went in there. But there was Cork Week, which is a kind of a date in the diary for a kind of Cork society. And the ladies' lunch. And I have to say, and it was like, you know, KC, of course you fucking don't know.
Never
but anyway, major radio figure in Cork. But he was
up-and-comer of some sort?
Look, he'd probably have him on the podcast soon. But he was emceeing and all that. But he was kind of saying, because, you know, these things can be tricky. But it was a very Reggie audience, like, it was ideal. But that went well. But most of those corporate ones,
they're so hard.
Where it's not a theatre, is just you fucking go your shit.
Go through. You're doing it for the money. Let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah, but it's bad for you, like, because if you know,
and you still have to give
people. I mean, I did one in Dublin a few months ago, a big room up by the airport in a hotel for a national organisation, and you know, I should have learned my lesson as well. They were lovely people and everything, but you get in there and she's like the material, and I wasn't even on a stage, and I didn't have a handheld.
Nothing worse.
So it was a podium mic, and I'd say raised about, you know, down that height, in a 400-seater room.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
And they were in. You know, you have to do at least 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You're kind of going. After 4 minutes, I was finished.
Yeah.
And I was dying, and it was.
And you just have to plow on, and it's like that's when people say, "I don't know how you do it." You know,
but it's 400 people now. We've seen you being shit as well, and you kind of go, "Was that really worth?" The money. The answer is, of course, yes.
Well, you see, it's like, yes. I know the question's an interesting one, right? 400 people seeing you being shit. You're not shit. So, like, for example, now I was struggling last week. I was making some jokes. I was like, I was taking the piss out of the captain. You know that like the club was bought by an American for like fire sale, 5.6 million, like, you know, absolute peanuts. And the captain is a well-groomed fella. And I was like, that's almost as much as Mason spends on his hair gel every year, right?
Okay.
Basic old joke, like, do you know what I mean? And it was just like,
whoa. Yeah.
and then I just addressed it. I was like, lads, fucking, you know, you can laugh if you want to, like, you know, I've got feelings, like, do you know what I mean? You know, even if you don't like my jokes, just laugh, like.
Did that work?
You know, and that actually worked then.
Wow.
Coming out of it, like.
Yeah.
That kind of, you know, coming,
Like,
like,
I know what you mean. It's actually a good idea to actually come out of it.
kind of come out of it, like.
Yeah.
And no, I'm not saying it work all the time, like, you know.
Yeah.
And then I went back into the pre-prepared material and still nothing back. And I was like, come on, we had a conversation about this a few minutes ago, lads, like, you know.
Right.
And that's what was becoming.
You made something out of it. Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, I think
I'm
that's.
going to nick that, by the way.
Nick it away, man.
Nick.
Nick it away. Sure, I probably fucking. They're all parlour tricks, like from.
Yeah, no, but it's worth it because it's a long stretch.
Yeah.
And everyone feels shit. They don't feel happy about it either. But you know, I get it. Like they're.
I had to do one for a GA club last year, and it was, and I shouldn't have said yes, but I'll tell you, I did it for a friend of a comedian, and who said, "Oh, they love you, they love all your stuff, and you please come and do the social." And it wasn't even for good money or anything like that. And I was like, I just didn't want to do GA socials because they're really hard, but I did it for this girl.
What's hard about them?
Because they have an anticipation of the sketches matching the stand-up.
Okay,
and sometimes
yes.
it doesn't match it.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it does
yeah.
in the show if you've got an hour.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like if you're so
If you're not telling gags, it's tricky.
exactly,
Yeah.
you know. But so anyway, still like I did a thing anyway, and it was like loads of people loved it. But I was talking about sex, and there was one part where there was a joke about sex in it, and then that went into a paedophile joke, right? Just two little throwaway lines and I could see some of the audience recoil, and I just went, she obviously didn't tell you, he obviously didn't send you any videos of my stand-up anyway, lads, do you know what I mean? And then that erupted at the back side of it, but the other crowd over here even turned more against me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
If you're a broad audience is tricky though, isn't it?
Broad audience is
like
tricky.
where you're,
Yeah.
I was at a kind of
You've no control over that, you see.
No, you won't. And like, again, I was at a work thing recently. Christmas work dues are the fucking worst because you have a bunch of people who like you and they're kind of in a certain age
locked.
group. No, but they mightn't be. Your fans might be locked. Mine are all very sober and sitting up the front because, you know. But
Yours are on
then,
coke or something.
But no, my fans are but then you've got like 20 or 5-year-olds who are more interested in that, getting to the bar because the bar's now open because the fucking dinner's finished. And really they all want to get off each other because it's a Christmas party.
Yeah.
So you're really not welcome.
You're tinsel, man.
Yeah.
That's what you are. You're
but it's like
you're a part, and it's booked. It's all those Christmas gigs. They're the worst. Unless you're
I've
doing
had a couple, like if it's a very specific audience that, you know, like if I did say Cork Chamber of Commerce for the Reggie audience, that's very specific. You could make jokes, but if it's a broad audience, it's a nightmare.
like no, we're talking about the worst of the worst. Like 95% of my shows, I fucking love them. I love them, absolutely love them. But there are the worst of the worst. And like,
So if you want to book Con, he's available.
beyond the 95%.
Yeah, no, I know what you
and
mean.
the other ones that I think is hilarious as well is like, and you might do a raffle then afterwards, will you?
Oh, yeah.
And we'll just, we're going
Will
to
you
bring.
stay around for 15 hours and
there's
present
a
the
few
best
people-
dressed lady.
Yeah, and you're just, I have to go there. I'm 2.5 hours away from where I live.
Yeah.
And it's now 1:30. And do you know what I mean? Like, so it's
No. I've just been more. It's more like that now. Again, I've said yes to a couple that I shouldn't have, and I'm kind of much more wary now because the ones that I do. But again, because it's for your own self-worth and like also the sense of, you know, that you're really good at it, like that you can kind of because it takes a bit of coming back from. If you stand there, no matter what, you can go, look, I know the material works. I did it last week, but it's the feeling when you're standing there and they're talking and the polite people are trying to laugh and you're suddenly invisible in the room. It's shit. It is. Really.
Yeah, it's fucking soul destroying. Yeah. You'll have the music turned up fairly loud on the way home after those gigs.
Yeah.
I tell you, disco dancing.
Yeah, well, trust me.
Fucking, yeah. I know it. The more you're on the road, the longer you're doing comedy, the less they happen. The less they encounter them.
Yeah.
But on the way up, the amount of, Jesus Christ, I remember we were doing a gig down in Macroom one time. Myself and Peter, who's on the podcast here, and an American comedian called Ashley Strand. And there was about 8 in the audience, and Ashley got a headbutt off one fella in the audience. Like, you know, there was like genuine tension between the audience and the comedians. Now, Ashley was like fairly controversial, like, you know, but a headbutt is a little, like, do you know what I mean?
There goes Macroom, towns I must visit.
But they have a nice new theatre down there now, all right.
They have the Briery Theatre available for booking,
Yeah.
I tried to contact them, they didn't get back to me.
Yeah, no, that's on purpose. I'd say they don't like you.
Yeah, well, listen, considering I have to wear a motorcycle helmet if I went there, I probably would just as well.
Tell me about your tour, Pat. Tell me about your tour.
Yeah, and I'm sure you're at the same situation now. We do come back in late August when the nights start to get a bit longer, and people want something after their summer holidays. So I'll be back on, I've Dingle now. I think, is this going out? So Dingle, I think is Friday the 24th. So I think it's this coming out that week. So I'm in Wave and Dingle, and then I have Kilbrittain Festival.
Brilliant.
I know Kilbrittain to find out how come people in West Cork learned how to play hurling. And then I've Ballycotton at the end of August, and then I'm back into it kind of.
Yeah. I'm
very much similar, Kenmare, Youghal, Dublin, Purty Kitchen in Dublin.
Yeah.
And just everywhere.
Where else? You're in Charleville?
I'm in Charleville, Charleville and Carnegie and Kenmare.
Carnegie, I'm there as well in Kenmare,
It's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah. I've never done my solo show there, no, but I've done a good few gigs there.
Those size ones are great. If you're at St. John's in Listowel, it's another one where it's about that number, and those towns, where they love it. There's a group of people who just go along and have crack.
Yeah.
And the audience is, there's a vibe in the audience.
I love those little towns that they have, literally, what you said, they have an audience that goes out to support things, that goes out to watch things.
Yeah. And they all know each other, and they've, they're kind of, they're interested in culture. That's the best way. And I don't mean that in any kind of highfalutin way. They're interested in people performing.
And different voices and different, but that's what I love about the job as well. You're going out now with your show, and you're already thinking of your next show.
Yeah.
And then your next show is going to be completely different to this show. And it's they're coming and they're following the journey the whole way through your. Yeah, and I think that's lovely.
Yeah, it is. And the fact that people come back and they say, "Oh, we saw you last time."
Yeah.
I mean, the trick is to stay away. Somebody said to me, the trick is to kind of stay away just long enough that they've forgotten your last gig, but not too long that they haven't forgotten you. That kind of, to find that sweet spot. If I go back every year, it's kind of tricky.
I think every 18 to 24 months is the thing.
Do you know, I was just thinking, I did it at the Belgrade Irish Arts Festival. No, the reason is because my friend is organising the Belgrade Irish. He lives in Belgrade. There's about 7 Irish people living in Belgrade. He's one of them, but he's a shaker and a mover. He's after developing this arts festival. And he need Ruth Nega and it's Neil Jordan out there and Stephen Ray, right? Kind of, they did a Beckett play with Ruth Nega and Stephen Ray, and Neil Jordan gave a talk, and that's brilliant. And Mary Coughlin was out there, or Colin, depending on who you ask. So they're really good. But I went out there and I did a Reggie's Farm. I did my latest show out there. Now we kind of served it up a bit, but I was kind of going, this is fucking nightmare. Sometimes I can find it hard to sell Ballincollig. Oh my god, sell Belgrade. But they sold it out.
Wow.
But most interesting was it was all mainly Serb people, and they were absolutely locked in for the whole thing in a way they couldn't possibly have been by the material. They were much more than Irish. And I was talking to my friend afterwards. He said that was a really noticeable thing, that nobody went for their phone, nobody talked, which you get in Irish gigs. People just suddenly start talking to the person next to them. Nobody talked. And he said, well, it's a cultural thing that if you get up on stage, there's just automatic respect for the performer, which was an Irish thing to an extent, respect for the musician. In a pub, if there was a musician playing, a bit of hush for the musician, which is kind of gone now, because they don't really, it's a different kind of vibe.
Yeah.
But in Belgrade, they still have that thing for this person is performing, I'm going to respect that for an hour.
And did they get the humour?
They did, actually. But I was able to, because it's about, Reggie's Farm is about Reggie moving from his mansion on the Blackrock Road in Cork to East Cork. And it's about how he's coping with living in rural Ireland.
Yeah.
And so I was able to kind of just twist that slightly to make it kind of go, here's what to expect if you come to Ireland, and the differences between the city and the country. And I was able to test a woman to see if she was in fact a culture. And I got an English fella up who was priceless.
Oh, brilliant.
And he just kept going. He kind of panicked, but so his answer to everything was, fuck off. So I said, this is what we need to put up with now for 800 years. Right? So they fucking love that then. But the high point for me as a Man United fan was, I made a point about it, and I'd noticed it when you're over there, is about the only thing I knew about Serbia really was Nemanja Vidic. Remember
I do.
The defender?
Centre half.
Played for Man United. And I said the only thing was, I was terrified, even though I loved him, like his face was terrifying. And they said, oh yeah, that's the thing, that's Slav face. They were saying this to me, like the people, we all have it. He said, like we're all, because they're very nice, but they're fucking terrifying looking. Do you know that kind of Eastern Europe? But they call it Slav face. And so I kind of did a joke about Nemanja Vidic. So I came around after this fella comes up and he says, have a look at this. He just got a message he sent the video to Nemanja Vidic because he knew him. And Nemanja Vidic had written back.
That's fucking class.
So I was kind of going, don't tell me he's fucking coming down here, no, because he's got Slav face.
Dead.
But that was the high point. That was really the high. That made it well worth going to Belgrade. So.
Sully, who's on the podcast here, his old doll is Serb as well. So yeah. Fair play to you, lads. The Serbs, do you know what I mean? That was a very interesting war, actually, in 92, that fucking war.
Yeah, but they're still, like, Belgrade is off the beaten track now there's no direct flights from UK even, I think.
Where was Sniper's Alley? Is that there?
That was Bosnia, that was Sarajevo.
But
like they were, this woman, there was this girl there, she was kind of giving me the tour of the place and all that. And, you know, she said, like, they hated Milosevic. They hated him. He was a dictator. He was a war criminal. But they also hated NATO more. And she said, like, NATO were bombing the bridges. So there's, like, Belgrade's a very ancient city. It's at the confluence of two rivers. So they used to go out partying on the bridges every night. And they said, like, that was a fuck you to NATO.
They are looked at, I think the Serbs are probably looked at more as the aggressors in that war. Am I right in saying that?
Well, it was just the ethnic Serbs, yeah. And I did point out to them, I was there, look, you started World War One. You know? So
yeah, you've got form, lads.
You know, people talk about Irish people having Catholic guilt. Like, you should have fucking Serb Orthodox guilt global for that guilt. Shit.
Yeah.
Like 20 million people, a lot of Irish people killed, actually, thanks to... Anyway, but they were...
Serbia.
The fucking brilliant thing about them is they had a brilliant sense of humour. They're...
bar the genocide, the sense of
humour. You know, the Croats might disagree, but anyway...
did you ever read a book?
No.
Anthony Lloyd, My War Gone By, I Miss It So.
No.
He was a journalist for the Times.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you, it's a great book, and it's about that war.
Oh good, yeah, I'd love it. Yeah.
It's absolutely. I don't know if I have it at home still. My War Gone By, I Miss It So. Anthony Lloyd, and it's an unbelievable. He was a photojournalist.
Okay.
And but he was a heroin addict as well at the same time, and he put himself into the war to get away from heroin. Absolutely fucking crazy.
And where was he?
He was in Bosnia. He was in Sarajevo, and that's where Sniper's Alley came into it. But he ends up in Chechnya at the end of it as well, and he's over and back to London. It's a lot of time skip. But
I mean, it was horrific. Like,
it was a terrible.
You realise actually how we live. I keep saying to my kids, I said, you are so lucky to live where you live now in this period, this place. Because obviously Ireland wasn't a cakewalk either.
No,
but. Right now, we seem to be far away from everything.
We're far away from anything, and we're not a threat, or we're not.
Yeah.
You know, I suppose we're a base, really. Like, that's what we are. Like, we're a landing base at best. You know.
Just say nothing.
Well,
that's
what our government are doing. They're saying nothing. They're saying
well, nothing to see.
Who's landing there? You know, Trump or whatever. Okay, so we're going to finish up, but before we go up, right, I just want to ask you: can you give me a description, we'll say, of a day-to-day of your life when you're gigging? Let's use Dingle now, because you're in Dingle next week in the Wave, right?
Yeah.
And you'll be able to get all details to Reggie's tour on our website. Go into in the description of this podcast. So if you want to go and see Reggie anywhere, we'll put all his information in here. So please do that in Sport Life Comedy. But he's in Dingle next week. So give us a snapshot of what that day will more than likely look like for you.
Well, normally before I used to get very panicked about it, and I get up at 9 o'clock and I'd be immediately, okay, this is a work day, I need to start. Because, you know, when I was starting out, I really started doing stand-up 5-6 years ago. You know, so I'd feel, oh, fuck, this is the night it's going to go. And then you kind of go, no, actually, there's no point in doing that. Go for a cycle, usually. It's the first thing I do if the weather's okay. You know, maybe go into Middleton, get some nice food, eat decently is important. And then, like, figure out, okay, sound check, you know, I need to be there, get there as late as possible. Before it's getting there way too early. You're hanging around and getting anxious about stuff. Get there as late as they want you to be there. And then eat. I make a pesto and pasta, always. And that's what I eat when I get there.
Do you eat before you go on?
Yeah, but about an hour and a half, yeah. And like, cause it's something really like pesto, you know, pesto and pasta is very light. It's kind of, it's not kind of belchy. And I've had some belchy food before I've gone on in the past. And the danger is, particularly if there's a kind of a bar or a restaurant attached to it, they'll ask you, do you want food? And you end up having some fucking creamy sauce or shit like that. So that's a no-no. So I just have that. So say say Wave now, I can't remember what time the show is, but say it's 8:30. So I'll try and get there for 7 because I think I've no sound equipment really to set up our lights. Sometimes I bring my own lights and stuff. So we'll do the setup, sound check. And then I'll have a cup of black tea. You need to be careful with the black tea. It'll dry out your mouth. Yeah, but I wouldn't have coffee.
Penance vibes off that, man.
Yeah, no, weak black tea. Right, so I give myself a couple of lashes of the old scapulars then, right?
Self-flagellating.
You're a bad comedian. And
bold boy, Rich.
And then but then you kind of have to have water after that. Not too much, obviously. Don't eat bananas. Somebody a tip, I used to eat bananas. Bananas dry you out. A couple of jellies. And then, so normally kind of locked into very often a kind of a tap room or something for half an hour so you can make an entrance. And then in there, I'd kind of run through that kind of intro episode, about the 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah.
And then on we go. And after my gigs, then I'll kind of flog a bit of merch, and people come up and take photographs. And that's great because like you nobody's coming up to tell you your shit either.
So you have to like obviously I was being facetious there earlier on, but they're in gigs that you don't want to do. But when you're doing your own shows, I think it's very important to talk to.
95% of the time I'm on the way home going, this is why I do it. I feel great, and the people are lovely, and they loved it. And I always say, and like because the audiences make a night as well. Like this, it's what's going on in the room, not just you.
Yeah.
Honest, mainly you. You're fucking have to, let's face it. Like. And then you like that. Then I get in the car, put on the Umberto Tozzi or whatever, and eat. And I saw Chris Kent talking about it. If you have a packet of pastilles or something, I could eat them in about 10 minutes. Which is very bad for you. I think he was saying he had too much of it going on.
Well, like when I was on tour last year with him, like we developed desperate bad habits altogether with food. Like, do you know what I mean? Like we'd eat now close to the gig as well, and chicken wings or whatever food whatever food they'd give you, we'd eat it.
Right.
And then afterwards, if we were staying, we'd have a few pints.
Yeah.
And if we weren't staying, we'd be on the road and we'd be stopping at the first petrol station, preferably if there was a Supermax or something there, you know what I mean?
Because you're starving after it.
And you're starving after it. Yeah. I'm on the Manjaro. I'm on it 4 months now.
And does that affect you after?
No, it's so good, man. It's just taken out all that desire to eat after gigs.
Yeah.
But Chris is on a kind of a clean vibe now as well at the moment. Right. So, like, for me, it's like my day wouldn't be much more dissimilar to yours. I'd go through my set, go for a walk, go through my set on my walk.
Yeah.
I'd drive. I might do a decade of the rosary on the drive, just saying a few prayers to God, and then throw on some tunes before I get to the venue, do my sound check, go back, bring out my notes, go through my notes, maybe go on my phone.
When you go home then, are you... Like I'm up for an hour and a half. So I have a children's party when I go home then very often. I'll have another bag of jellies, 3 packets of Hunky Dories, and I'll have a bottle of, Tisky beer. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, the Polish beer. You were telling me that.
Choice of the Polish Hobo. It's a fucking lovely beer. One bottle of that.
And what do you do? Watch television?
No. I'd stand around. I'd stand, like I'd just stand in the kitchen kind of.
So that's interesting now, because what I normally do, right, is I would normally, let's say if I was doing a gig in Limerick, I'm home in an hour. Like, I'm home usually in an hour from most places.
Me too, yeah.
Home in an hour, and like yourself, absolutely flooded to my top to toe with adrenaline and whatnot. So what I'd normally do, or what I have been doing for the best part of 17, 18 years, is I'd smoke a joint.
Right.
I'd smoke a joint and that would calm me down, and I'd be chill out, and I might play some FIFA. But I'm actually giving up cannabis now. I'm literally almost at the stage of completely giving it up for a period of time. So I'm kind of interested to see how that's going to develop, because I would be like yourself, but I play FIFA. I'm a competitive person. I go on to the seasons and I play where my mind is engaged in, like, I have this weird thing where I'm like, I just need to get to this division now, and I'm like super thinking about it. Like, so it kind of takes
a different thing with your mind,
and it takes a different thing, and it's kind of exhausting. It kind of and by the time that's out, then I'll go to bed and I'll throw on some sleep sound or something like that and go to bed. But I often go to bed at between 2 and 3 o'clock. Like, no bother.
I'd be the same, but then I mean the one problem, I don't know if it happens to you, I could then wake with a jolt at like 5 o'clock when the adrenaline does some kind of backlash or something.
Yeah,
and
it's hard to go back to sleep.
And you go back and then it's kind of and that's why we only work 2 hours a week.
That's it. You think it's 2, it's actually 42 per gig. That's it, man. That's great to have you in again.
All right, likewise. Thank you. Best
of luck with the shows.
And best of luck with your tour.
Thank you so much. I'm on tour as well. We'll put all the details to all our tours in the description on the website. Please check out Pat's website and go and support
ReggieBlackrockRoad.com. ReggieBlackrockRoad.com.
Reggie.com. And there's no www in front of it, apparently.
Not anymore.
Isn't there?
Fuck, where are you? 2007?
You can just talk it in, yeah.
http://
I got fucking ripped apart in the podcast recently for saying www.CorneliusPatrickO'Sullivan.com. But yeah, check it out. Come and support live comedy. Go and see Reggie's class. Come and see me on class. Follow the Fearless Digital Network Studios. Listen to our live podcast. Go back and listen to it. It's on tomorrow. It's going to be class. And support my patron. Thank you so much. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams.